Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we are diving into one of the most important medical texts in human history, the Canon of Medicine by Ibn Sina, also known in the West as Avicenna. And guess what? In 2025, this masterpiece has turned 1,000 year old. That's right, 1 millennium. And yet, its influence still echoes in the way we think of medicine today. But before we get into Ibn Sina, let us start with a story you might already know, one from the 19th century. In the 19th century Europe, a Hungarian doctor named Ignaz Semmelweis noticed something strange. Women who gave birth with highly trained doctors were most likely to die than those who gave birth with medical trainees. Counterintuitive, right? The doctor followed the trainees and realized they washed their hands after working on dead bodies, while the senior doctors didn't. His conclusion: hand washing saves lives. Today, we call him the savior of mothers. But here is a twist: hygiene wasn't new. Soap had been around for a millennia. Ancient Babylon, India, and the Islamic world already practiced antiseptic medicine centuries before the doctor discovered it. That brings us to Islamic Golden Age and to the young genius born in 980 AD near Bukhara, Abu Ali al-Hussein ibn Sina, or Avicenna. By the age of 18, he was already a practicing physician. By 21, he was writing books that would change history. His magnum opus, Kitabul Qanun fil al-Tib, the Canon of Medicine, was written in the early 11th century. And it wasn't yet another medical manual. It was a million-word encyclopedia that integrated Greek, Roman, Indian, and Islamic medical knowledge with Ibn Sina's own groundbreaking observations. Why the canon mattered, and what made it so revolutionary. First, its structure. Ibn Sina divided it into 5 books: General Medical Principles, Simple Medicines, about 800 of them, Diseases of Individual Organs, Diseases Affecting the Whole Body, Compound Medicines, and Treatments. It was clear, systematic, and incredibly practical. Ibn Sina emphasized something radical: prevention is better than cure. He argued the doctors should focus on interrupting disease transmission, what we now call infection control. Sounds familiar? That is the foundation of public health today. Third, he refused to separate medicine from surgery. He saw them as one discipline. Modern fields like interventional cardiology or radiology, where diagnosis and surgical action combine, are proof that he was centuries ahead of his time. The canon wasn't just an Islamic text. It was translated into Latin in the 12th century and became a core part of the European medical curriculum for 500 years up to the 17th century. European scholars refer to Ibn Sina as the Prince of Physicians. Even as late as 1900, a professor at UCSF, John Urquhart, said he would have preferred Ibn Sina's canon over the modern textbooks of his own time if he had to practice medicine stranded on an island. That's how good it was. And the canon didn't just cover illnesses, it tackled psychiatric conditions, described diabetes and tuberculosis, outlined eye anatomy, discussed prenatal medicine, and even touched on biomechanics of the spine. It was much science as it was philosophy. But Ibn Sina wasn't only a doctor. He wrote about philosophy, astronomy, chemistry, and theology. His mind has been compared to Goethe's brilliance, Leonardo Vinci's keen genius. He memorized the Quran by age 10, mastered jurisprudence at 13, and became court physician and prime minister in his 30s. Out of his 450 works, about 240 survive, including the Book of Healing, which blended Aristotelian and Islamic thought. Ibn Sina was truly a Renaissance man before the Renaissance. So, how did such brilliance emerge? The Islamic Golden Age thrived on intellectual openness. Thinkers like Al-Farabi argued that wisdom was limited to one faith or culture. Whether you were Muslim, Christian, or Jewish, or Zoroastrian, you had a path to truth. That spirit of exchange created an atmosphere where a figure like Ibn Sina could flourish, absorbing Greek philosophy, Indian medicine, and Persian science and weaving them into something entirely new. As we are in the Canon's 100th year milestone in 2025, we are reminded that the roots of modern medicine are deeper and more diverse than we often think. Semmelweis may have discovered hand washing in 19th century Vienna, but Ibn Sina had already laid out the principles of prevention, hygiene, and integrated care nearly a millennia earlier. So maybe it's time we stop calling him just a medieval physician and start recognizing him as the true father of modern medicine.